All right. And this is another episode of a Gamer's Mic podcast. And I'm here with me, one of my best friends, YBobby. What's up, man?
How's it going?
I had to get you on here.
This is going to be the first time doing anything like this. And I'm nervous, but excited.
Well, I'm going to walk you through it, man. I ask everybody here on my podcast. Last one was Ty, possibly someone else. I don't know. How did you get started gaming? Because this is a gamer's podcast, so we'll start off like that.
All right, we'll start off with that. And before I begin on that, I just got to say, this room is freaking crazy. I haven't been in here in a little while.
It's been a second.
It's been a little while, and I would love to have like a line up a desk in the back, get some monitors set up, and have just an all-night LAN party one night. That would be awesome. But anyways.
So how did you get started? So like for me, dude, I've always thought about that too. Like,
this is the perfect room for a LAN party.
It's such a big desk. Like you guys can't see, but I have a big desk like that has my monitor, my two monitors, a PC, everything else, my light, and it's just I wanted to always have like something else for people to come over and play. But the good news is when Josh comes over, if anyone's watching me, episode 2, he's in the room next door. And he's got his own little setup he brings. Because Kim's got a little desk or something. But
I could see 4 people tucked in here, soundproof room,
and just
it up,
LAN.
Pizza in the middle, and just going at it. But
that would be a dream in high school, too.
That's a dream now.
So how did you get started gaming? Like what got you into anything? Like throwback?
Definitely classify myself as a gamer. Gamer my whole life. Obviously, just like everyone else, you start as a kid. Mine was not the 64 like a lot of people say. I was Super Nintendo. I think that was my very first console. Yeah. Super Nintendo. That was cool and all, but where gaming really, really hit hard for me is when my dad got me the original Xbox. And the original Xbox, it was Christmas. I opened up this box, saw an Xbox, and I asked my dad, I said, "What is this?" I had no idea what it even was.
So you didn't even ask for it?
I didn't ask for it.
This is the first time I heard this story.
I was so young that I didn't even know what the Xbox was. I didn't know anything about video games hardly. I had a PS1 and a Super Nintendo. That was it. He gets me an Xbox. He's like, "Oh, let me show you." We go in his bedroom, plug it up to the TV, and we start playing like Shrek or something like that. Shrek and like some NFL.
Well, you were a kid,
2002 game or something like that. Something crazy.
But you had a PlayStation 1 though, so were you like big into that whenever
you had that? But when I got that Xbox,
that's when it started.
That's when it all. Because first Xbox, got it, hooked it all up, like I said. And after a year or two after it came out, Xbox Live was introduced. And I was one of the few people who started Xbox Live right as soon as Xbox Live was a thing. Like as soon as they started advertising the 48-hour trials and stuff like that, I was in it and playing Xbox Live with everybody. And that's when I became addicted.
So I guess we'll just start going on how we met, because you literally got me into the online play. Like I said, I had a PlayStation 1, then a 360. Like I've always gamed 360. Then it goes into a PlayStation 2. Played a ton of that at a friend's house, but it was never online. And I remember first day, 8th grade, I walk into our class. And we had like the same Nike Elite shoes, and they're both literally Weddington green, like our school. And was it me or you? I think you said it. You're like, "Nice shoes." I looked down and I looked at yours. I was like, "Oh shit, we got the same stuff."
And they were nice shoes at the time.
Yeah, brand new shoes. You know, everyone has to have fresh school day shoes, and that was ours. And that's ever since then, dude. And then finally, I was like, okay, I got someone to talk to first day. Because first day, and that was your first day at that school.
That's why I had to say something.
Yeah.
I didn't know a single person.
You literally were going in cold. So, yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So then we talked, and you told me about, we talked about video games because that was one of our, like, connections. And then you started talking about, like, okay, 360. When I was like, okay, well, I'm about to get a 360. What is the first game do I get? And it was in between Halo 3 and Call of Duty. And I remember you told me this is. I literally remember this. You said, "Well, if you're into realistic, like gameplay, then you need to go Call of Duty because that's more realistic. Halo shooting aliens and all that kind of stuff. But it's all you. But then you were saying you're like, but it's the most fun because you were into Halo. Then
I was gonna say
you
must have set
trust
it up
me.
weak.
No. You hyped up Halo because I was probably gonna go Call of Duty no matter. So whenever you hyped up Halo to where it was actually a hard decision for me, yeah. And because I knew my cousin played it a ton, and I was like, hey. Are you going, I know you play Halo a lot, but Call of Duty, and she was like, no, Halo. And for some reason, I picked Call of Duty 4, which is literally a throwback.
Not a bad decision.
Not a bad decision. You literally told me, you're like, it can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And then later, you can get the next game. So
now looking back, those are two of some of the greatest games of all time.
Dude, and eventually, I got Halo 3.
Yeah.
And I remember playing the jumping maps and all that, but we'll go back into that later. But so then I got into Call of Duty, and then I remember saying we were playing together, and we'd play pubs together or whatever. And then I remember you in game battles matches, and I would just join your progress. You know how people were, and everybody's like, come on,
everybody
man.
gets pissed.
Yeah, everybody's like, dude, leave. I was like, damn, what's going on? And then finally, I asked you, I was like, dude, what is this? Like, what's game battles? And then that's when you introduced me, and that's whenever I literally started playing competitive.
Once you're playing competitive, you're pretty much you're in it. That's where there's a difference between playing casually. To be addicted, well, I'm saying addicted like I'm an addict or something like that, but if you're playing competitive, I would say that. Passionately play casually, I feel like is not that common. But whenever there's a competitive edge to the game where you're trying to accomplish something, there's a goal that you're trying to achieve, you're passionately playing that game. You are putting everything you got into that game, and you'll spend hours upon hours playing the game. And that's how we build.
And that's what I was telling Ty. I was like, man, I'm competitive in everything, like from sports. I grew up in sports, so whenever I had Billy and my other friend, we would get them together and we do Madden tournaments like locally, and they weren't into like playing for tournaments. Like I was just like, I gotta beat everybody. So then I'm glad you introduced me. I literally this is the guy I have to think about getting me into this scene, because if it wasn't for that day, or for me getting a 360, getting Call of Duty, and then getting on game battles, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you for that. And seriously though, because ever since I got on GB, it was another world. Because then in high school, we'd go in and people were like, "Hey man, I'm good at Call of Duty," and we'd just shake our head. And I was literally just talking to Ty, because we did these episodes back to back. But I was just telling him, dude, it's like when people would talk about Call of Duty and say how good they are.
It wasn't cool yet.
No.
Gaming wasn't cool yet. When we were in early high school, Twitch was still just in TV.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Gaming was not as big as it is today. Today, everybody, including their girlfriends and family, even knows what Fortnite is.
Now, yeah.
But back then, when we were in early high school, it's like gaming wasn't cool. And if someone was in school talking about hey man, I've got a 2.0 KD in Call of Duty or something like that,
dude,
it's just like,
come on, man.
You don't understand. You're not playing competitively.
Yeah.
You're running around.
Well, and that's what we did. We literally just didn't talk.
I stayed silent.
We didn't talk about it.
I wouldn't
so
talk
because whenever I finally found out about that, because you never told me about it when we were playing, because obviously you didn't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
So eventually, when I got into
you
it,
don't understand it.
When I got into it and I heard people talking about dude, no. Yeah. But I didn't say anything, and eventually, I found out why you didn't say anything. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna be on the low too. But then, you hear people talk about it, and eventually you find yourself in a lobby with them, and they want to play free for all, and you just give it to them, and you go off, and they eventually find out, dude, he's on another level. And you're like, yeah, I play competitive, blah, blah, blah. You tell them on that whenever, you get the guys from school to play with you and stuff. But it was never a brought up point.
Yeah, it's like a secret brag. You could brag by playing with your friends, but you never would tell them, dude, I'm really good
and
at this game.
Now think about it, man.
Now it's a whole nother world.
now it's completely different. Think about it. Right now, kids want to grow up to be YouTubers. Kids want to grow up and be streamers. Kids want to grow up and be professional Fortnite players. Obviously, now, if a 7-year-old wants to be a professional Fortnite player, eventually, later on, it's going to be a whole nother game. And it's going to be a whole nother game that's going to take off. And it's just...
Parents are looking into lessons. Your schools are doing it. You're casting
college
league
here soon,
for college leagues. I mean, it's crazy where gaming has got to today. But we started when we started. It was at a time where it is nowhere near what it is today.
Well, and you look back at back in the day, the big tournaments going on, like NW2. Oh my God! You go back and check, and you like remember when I changed my name to PT Dodger?
Yeah.
So I remember watching Dodger play in MW2 and all of them, and like it's just crazy how like competitive like that's when casting first came out. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I never thought about it. I was like, I want to be a competitor. I'm good enough. Like I'm and nowadays like dude, 17-year-olds are better than all of these players. Like I was just casting a tournament not too long ago, and these 17-year-olds were putting in work against veterans like John and Tupac. One was on a Tupac's team. It's just crazy, man.
It's interesting. It's a lot different now. What I was gonna say when you asked me about talked about the Halo and Call of Duty thing in middle school, why I was pushing Halo so hard, I remember now, is because COD 4, when COD 4 was out, those were the two new hot games. COD 4, there was no like hard MLG competitive scene to it. Call of Duty, if you were playing Call of Duty, it was just you're either playing pubs or you know about game battles,
and it was S&D
game battles, S&D game battles.
And then eventually Variant came out too.
Later on in the game, well, yeah, I mean it was around in the game, but the competitive scene for Call of Duty was just minuscule compared to what Halo
It wasn't put on a platform like Halo.
At that time, Halo was like one of the top
meta
esports. I mean, CSGO has always been around, and League of Legends, I don't know about League of Legends, but Dota, things like that.
Yeah.
But, Halo was one of the top esports. They were doing the Dr. Pepper house.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Puckett would go around
and pimp out their room. Yeah. And now everyone's got a room like
Give
this.
someone one of these rooms and throw a Dr. Pepper mini fridge in it, full of Dr. Pepper, and make a YouTube
full of Bud
video.
Light right now, though.
It's like this. We're in a Dr. Pepper gaming room right now. Like, it's crazy.
But now but that's normal now.
That's what
it's literally normal. So it's like kids nowadays, like whenever we thought like we would watch that show and they would pimp out their room with Dr. Pepper, like stacks and everything, and then we would watch it. We're like, dude, I would love to have a room like that.
We're sitting
and now this is just this is normal now.
It is normal.
It's not like
everybody's got it.
Extra.
Every gamer, if you care about gaming enough, you have a monitor. You have 2 monitors. You have a SCUF controller. You're using mouse and keyboard. You're all.
I talked to my friend. Shout out to Steven. He works at an apartment complex. And he told me every time he walks around, like he goes into all the spaces, and he says that about 65% have 2 monitors at least in there, like a setup, like a gaming setup, and that's 65% of the places. And he was like 90% has, a console or something in there to game on. But he was saying people like 65% have a setup like this, and that's the apartment complex. Like it's crazy. Like everyone, it's such big now in the roles going into like I'm getting into casting. Who would have thought when I'm a kid, like hey, like I'm gonna be talking about video games and literally calling out stuff
over them, and just like an NBA or NFL game.
It's still hard to like. I try to explain to my parents. I'm like, yeah, I'm casting for Call of Duty this week, and then I'm gonna be Rocket League the next, and they're like, I don't, they still don't understand because they're still set in their, back whenever we were like, no. I was like, so then I would have to show them clips and understand. They're like, and then, even our coworker, I'll show him. I'm like, man, he's like, how is this even a thing? I'm like, it's just starting too. It's about to be like,
It's
the
massive
mainstream
already, but it's still in such a young stage. Gaming is nowhere near what it's going to be.
And it's crazy because it's already so big. And then that's what I was just talking about. Like, I want Charlotte to be that way, like what Chicago is, what Texas is. Like, you know, all LA's huge, and you know, I mean, just
Texas has a lot of esports.
Texas has a lot,
They
but then
have
again,
a
they
ton.
have a ton of cities that are huge. So, it's just unreal how they are doing that.
I'd love for Charlotte to
I think I'd give
get
it.
something together
Well,
like that.
we've already saw something here recently. They were
The
saying
Raleigh.
they were going to make something in Raleigh. I don't know if it's true or not, but I retweeted it.
They
It's
said
on
that
Twitter.
It was the next esports arena to be built or put together, whatever it was going to be.
I really wish it was in
similar
Charlotte.
to like the Vegas esports arena, something like that.
I don't know if you know this, but here this next weekend, Venom is hosting their very first home game of the NBA 2K League.
Is that Charlotte?
Spectrum
Charlotte
Center.
Venom?
Spectrum.
Really?
Dude, it's the first game. I was thinking about getting tickets, but I'm casting
so
the day before.
Are they gonna just be on like down on the floor?
Yeah,
playing
dude.
2K?
I really want to
Throw
go.
it up on the jumbotron
Yeah.
or something.
I think so.
Wow.
I don't know. I want to see what it looks
Yeah.
like, but I'm
I
definitely.
mean, if they're selling
if I don't,
tickets to it, it's gotta be something.
I was gonna
like that.
say like if it's nothing like too expensive, I was gonna just walk in and see if they would, give me. I'm sure
I
they
didn't know
could.
about
There's
that.
nowhere they're gonna fill out of
That's
the
the
stadium.
only esport here in Charlotte is the Charlotte, and that's because
Dude,
all
and
NBA teams.
I'm
have to
so
have a 2K
pissed.
team.
I am so pissed because I fell off of 2K the year before it comes to Charlotte, and like I literally was
Yeah.
playing competitively, guys,
Yes.
like for like literally money, a ton of money, $200 games for 3-minute quarters, right out of high school, and then eventually I just took a break from it and started casting, but now they're having a team here. It's crazy. But anyway,
That'd be a cool event to go to, definitely.
dude, and especially like you said, it's just growing now
Support
for
local esports.
for real. Because when Charlotte gets in, I'm gonna be in all the events, and we're trying. I know a lot of people who are organizations who's trying to get it to come alive. You saw a couple weeks ago where we had Jonathan Stewart, Muggsy Bogues, Del Curry all come out and support it, and they think it's cool. Even Tepper. I heard Tepper was supposed to be there. Some of his team was supposed to be there, and the mayor. Like everyone is making noise. We're making noise.
Yep.
We're real close, and like I said, in like a year or two, it could be a whole nother world. We might have something, but anyway, let's get into the rapid fire, man. I changed up a little bit of the questions. I don't like keep it all the same. A lot of it is the same.
I've
but,
seen a lot of the rapid fires. I like it.
Yeah. So
I always sit there, and while I'm watching it, I'm always answering them in my head.
all right, well, good because
I need to-
I would say 50% of them are the same. So I'm sure you got some already built up. So you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We're going to do a rapid fire, so answer them as quick as you can. Obviously, if you have to elaborate, you can. We'll go back to the ones if you want to elaborate even more.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and do favorite all-time system.
Favorite all-time system. It's rapid fire. Off the top of the head, I've got to say Xbox 360.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I mean,
I like that answer.
you can't go wrong with Xbox 360.
Favorite all-time game.
Favorite all-time game. Oh, this is another extremely tough one. And like we were talking about earlier, it's stuck between the two franchises, Halo and Call of Duty. I personally, right at this moment, if I had to say something, and I got to elaborate on this one.
We'll go back to it.
Okay, I'm going to say Halo 3.
Okay, we'll go back. I promise. So Halo 3. What game were you best at?
Ooh, that's another good one. The best game, or the game I was best at. Halo 3 is in the mix. Had 50s in just about every playlist, but Call of Duties, man, there's so many of them that I
franchise
was
just
good
straight
at,
up.
but the franchise in general. If you're good at one in COD, you're good at them all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true. That really is.
yeah.
Once you, I feel like next COD, I'm still going to be above average. Like, it's not going to be.
To lock in an answer, it's 50-50 Halo and
To lock it in
franchises.
50-50.
Here's 10 games. I'm good at all of them.
All right. hardest game ever played.
Now this one I've heard you ask, and everybody always mentions these solo player games.
Like Dark Souls
Yeah,
or, you know.
and I've never been a big solo game player. Hardest.
It's tough because I thought the same thing.
I'm trying to think.
I literally went back to my childhood, and I think whenever I answered, it was like Spyro, which probably isn't true.
It's something that you thought of. Man, I that's one that I totally forgot about. Wasn't expecting.
We can go back to it, or just skip it.
I play I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to base it off multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean that's what you play.
And I don't want to say that because that's a cheesy way to say it. I was gonna say CS:GO, but the only reason I'd say CS:GO
because you're not
because I was playing on a Mac and a wireless mouse.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be difficult for anyone who
Well,
plays it.
well, and it's because I mean you haven't got into like PC gaming, like
yeah.
hasn't been into that yet.
Yeah, so I don't.
You can say that.
I guess.
And you haven't played Tarkov, have you?
No, I haven't. The only
That's
PC
what
game
everyone's
I've
saying.
ever
That
played-
is the hardest freaking
Everybody
game,
does say that
the
it
most
is.
intense.
And it looks.
I've
hard.
heard Courage
I've
talk about
hours of it, and it's a very intense game. But shoot, for the time
We'll
being,
go
I'll
CS:GO.
say
Well, it's fine.
CS:GO.
I said Spyro, so
All right.
it's all good. Damn it, I just lost my place. Most underrated game.
Underrated game. I'm all Call of Duty. I'm all Halo. Here's my underrated game. Master Chief Collection. When it dropped, there was a little bit of hype behind it, and when it came out, they released it without having the multiplayer set up properly. So Master Chief Collection came out, all these people were on the game, and the multiplayer was totally broken. And so it turned everybody off of the game right away, and there was only barely anybody who played it. A year later, they fixed the multiplayer, and then it brings some people back. But still to this day, Master Chief Collection, it takes 5 minutes to find a Halo 3 match, and that's definitely one of the most underrated games. That I could go and play Master Chief Collection all day long.
You brought up literally deja vu for me. GTA did the same shit.
Release the game.
They released the game without multiplayer. On the release date, everyone was waiting to play together on GTA. It came out, you only could play solo.
I don't understand that.
It was a disaster. It took I don't know how many weeks or whatever for them to actually release the multiplayer, and then they didn't have the right.
You're talking about GTA, the recent one, was it 5? 5 GTA 5.
It might have been 4.
Because 5 is the recent one, right?
Yeah.
5, they're still.
It's huge.
That's what I'm saying. They're still.
They do role playing.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I kind of wish I was into that,
game
but
came out how many years ago?
And it's still.
It came out way.
That's where I got
before
known on
Fortnite.
Twitch. From
Golly,
GTA.
that game's been out for at least 5-6 years since I was in high school.
I know.
And it's still massive. That's
So maybe it was GTA 5 when it got released.
Yeah, I think it was.
Jeez,
man.
that's been old. They
That was
need
the
to
one-
come up with a GTA. What's going on? Rockstar.
You
Damn.
get on and you're Trevor, you beat Trevor,
Yeah.
you're the other guy, you beat him, and there was no multiplayer. Or the
Michael,
multiplayer,
Trevor.
they didn't have a
someone else.
lot of the stuff integrated into it. Like you're
The
supposed
stocks.
to be able to get
Dude, it took
gamble,
4 years for them to get that thing on.
real estate, all that stuff. The real estate, there was like 5 places to pick
That
from.
took a while. Yeah, and then eventually they expanded.
Wow. Wow.
Best play made on COD.
Best play made on COD. We discussed this one a
We
little
did.
bit.
You actually came up with this question, believe it or not.
This one, and I'm going to stick to my answer, even though that there's some other great plays I've made on COD. This one's the one that sticks in my memory as the coolest play I've ever made. Modern Warfare 2, when it was in its prime, I was always in and out of scrims. Bouncing around from scrim lobbies. It was when you would have to add an Xbox Live account called MW2 Scrims, go on their friends list, and join any of those guys. And I would
Remember
be
7 Sins?
I was all yeah, that's a whole different story. But I was all involved with the scrim lobbies and stuff. Loved it, and I ended up in a lobby with a couple pro players, Dito and
Who was it?
Dito, and Proofy,
Yeah.
to be exact. And it was on
Proofy
high
was
rise.
huge.
Proofy was big. Dito was
Dude,
big
yeah, he
too.
was too.
I mean, they both these guys are pretty big, and it was on high rise. I was on the helipad on high rise. I killed a guy through like a little crack through. I killed Dito through or Proofy through like the crack on the helipad, and killed the other one somewhere else on the map. But anyways, I got a 2-piece on Proofy
pros.
and Dito, and that was one of the coolest moments of my.
I'm gonna bring this back up. Didn't you get killed on high rise?
By Moho.
Dude, I'm jealous.
Dude, I got smoked by Moho.
UMP across the map.
UMP across the map. I can't believe you remember that.
I
knew it
do
was
because I was jealous as hell. I want to get killed by Moho.
Well, I wonder if it was that same scrim. I don't know. But
That would have been insane.
It was
The only person I really played it like pro wise against was Parasite, and that was like Black Ops 2
in league play.
in league play.
Yeah, Moho killed me. It was a different scrim because the one I got my cool play on was a like capture the flag or something.
That's cool.
Moho, we played him in Search and Destroy, and
Dude.
on high rise where you run through, you bust the glass.
That was my guy.
You are trying to dodge a sniper normally. Moho kills me cross map with a silenced UMP or something like that.
Yeah, yep.
That was.
And then, dude, and then the closest I've ever got to freaking my favorite team was Fear back then. Was literally 2 weeks ago when I was talking with John. Literally, I mean, I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to be a fanboy. I'm sure. I don't know.
When
John,
I was 10 years old, I loved Fear.
It's crazy. I mean,
Full circle.
Yeah, first circle. Anyway, keep going on. Favorite map of all time in COD.
Call of Duty favorite map.
All of them.
All of them.
That's tough. I know.
Oh, that is very tough.
You can go top 3 if you really need to, but
No, I'll stick to the question. Even though I could easily pump out a top 3.
dude,
I want to say, man.
I don't even know the answer to this, honestly.
This is off the top of the head.
Yeah.
Without doing too much thinking, but Terminal, man.
Yes, dude.
I mean,
in my head, I swear.
Is that
yes.
not one of the best?
Yeah,
COD
you
maps
had
ever?
to. I really wish they bring it back.
I was so good
on
at that
Warfare.
map. That Terminal was it was a 3-lane map type of map. It had a little bit of quirks you could do to it, and I was just so good at navigating and doing the unexpected.
S&D was the best on that map, man.
That's
Like a
easily
3v3?
one of the best maps of all time on Call of Duty.
High or low sensitivity?
Call of Duty, and today throughout all
Anything,
Call of Duty,
really.
I've always been low. I tried high like one COD. I think I played a whole COD.
So how low,
like a
though?
6 or
Like
7. Majority of the CODs has been about default, around default.
3 to 4.
Or I go up. Yeah, I
3
go.
to 4.
I usually go up 1 from default. From 4 or
3 is
something like
default right on this one.
that. So usually about a 4. But Fortnite, just recently, I've discovered I had to max out my sensitivity. I cranked it way
Really?
up, and
I didn't know this.
I have become so much better at that game.
So how?
You can adjust your ADS, your
Well, it's the same thing with
actual
COD. You can do that.
shooting, and you can adjust your build sensitivity.
Yeah.
So when you have your builds out, you can be on a whole nother sensitivity.
I did
and
not know that.
spam in a circle, and then as soon as you take a gun out, you're back to your fighting
Wow.
sensitivity. So
I've been playing Fortnite wrong.
You have. I've
Okay.
cranked my build sensitivity way up, and I can build just like a PC player now. It's pretty crazy. I've gotten good.
You
at
still
the
play
game.
on Builder Pro?
Builder Pro.
Is that the meta? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and you have to if you're on a controller.
Dude,
and then you
it's
even have
been-
to go in and set your own keybinds for your controller. You can like change the edit buttons and stuff like that.
That must be recent.
Yep. It's
Dude, I just played Apex like yesterday, and it was unreal. I was like, it's a whole new map. It's bad. It's bad. Whenever you get on a game that you haven't been on in a while and just like feel like you're just gonna take over
well,
and you get
first
dropped.
hour or two sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
And then I got off.
I was so good at this game, and I love this game, but I suck at it. But if you play it, give it a couple hours, you're right back into the groove. It's like riding a bike.
So switching up on gaming, favorite sport.
Favorite sport, gotta go with football, NFL, Carolina Panthers. Yeah, you gotta.
All right, well then here's another question that I don't know if I know this. Actually, I do.
Hit me
And
with it.
favorite sports player.
Oh, baby.
I know it.
Yep.
You mean answer it?
Agent 89, baby.
Steve
Smith.
Yep. All right.
That is my all-time favorite sports player. I love him. And coincidentally, I was on my way home from work today. He was on the radio.
Oh, really?
With Kyle Bailey. And he said something. I was in my car by myself, cracking up laughing. I love Steve Smith, man. He is one of the best personalities the NFL has ever seen. This dude, right now, we're going through the drama of, what was it? Oh, Steve Smith said DJ Moore wasn't a number one wide receiver. He wasn't a wide receiver number one. He's a wide receiver too. And he's been catching a bunch of flack for that. Panthers fans have been all mad and everything. So Steve Smith came on the radio to defend himself today.
Oh, snap.
And he defended himself, and he said that he's an analyst now on NFL Network. He's an analyst.
Yeah.
He watches tons of film. He's talked to plenty of teams and players across the league.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's
talking about. And he's a former Pro Bowl wide receiver.
And he said from all the information he's gathered, he thinks DJ Moore fits in the number 2 or wide receiver 2 category.
That's perfectly fine.
And he said, all I am today in this position on the NFL Network is I'm the messenger. He said, and everybody here, they think they can shoot the messenger. But what they don't know is that this messenger is going to shoot your ass back. I don't know if I'm going to say that on the podcast.
You can say it, dude. I've been saying shit on this whole podcast.
I was cracking up laughing.
Damn.
Steve Smith is one of the best, man.
Dude, he was such a fun guy to watch. Like a short guy, wide receiver. That's the thing is that gives you hope, man. People who aren't supposed to make it, like dude, a wide receiver. You think of tall, who can jump real high. I mean,
started off returning some punts. He got an opportunity returning some punts,
and that's all it is.
Put
one
him in
opportunity,
the receiver, and he just crushed.
He's real fast, man. I love it. Favorite teams? I said that plural because we'll go down the line.
I'll hit them all real quick. You got Carolina Panthers for the NFL. That's definitely my blood right there, die hard. NBA, I'm rocking with the Phoenix Suns. I grew up in Charlotte, never really been a Bobcats or a Hornets guy just because they're so stale. Never really been an NBA guy.
That's it.
But then a guy we met off of Xbox, Devin Booker, drafted to the Phoenix Suns. I rock with the Phoenix Suns. Gotta support my guy.
We'll just say this real short. Played game battles with them.
Game battles.
That's when you know he's good. And then finally now people think they're now like, oh, Devin's good at COD. We're like, bro, we knew that. He's been good since he in high school, man, or middle school. Middle school.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's good at everything he does. You ask his brother. But all right, that's it for the rapid fire. You made it. We'll go back and elaborate on the
Halo question.
Yeah. So what was that?
Repeat that.
Was it the one favorite all-time game? What game were you best at? Yeah. Yeah, one of those.
Was it the favorite all-time game?
I think so. I think it was that one.
And I was stuck between.
And your best at you still didn't go back. I think that was it too.
Yeah. This was the best stat. I said Halo and COD franchises.
50-50.
I'm not gonna pick a game out of that. I can't. I mean, I can't.
You're good at both.
Yeah, both franchises.
For me, because I can never get the hang of Halo. Like, whenever I was like playing with you, I was like, damn, like I'm not gonna get to that level. And I played for a while. You can back me up on this. I played Halo for a little bit, like watching MLG. I tried to.
And it would inspire you to play.
Yeah. Oh,
watching Puckett commentate a nice. Straight ripping versus final boss match.
Final boss. Oh my god.
Golly, there's nothing like that.
Good old Roy. Remember Roy?
Yeah. The whole they're still playing. Roy and Lunchbox, all of them. They came back on Master Chief Collection. But were you were finishing something?
No, you're good.
So the favorite game.
Favorite all-time game.
Halo 3. I chose Halo 3, and this is my reason why. So Halo 3 today. That game released in 2007, I think, like around 07, something like that. A long time ago, over 10 years ago it came out. And it is now 2020, and I can still, when I'm bored of all games, I've played Call of Duty enough, I've played Game Battles enough, I've played enough Fortnite, I've played enough Apex Legends. a game that I can always, always, always go back to and play is Halo. Before there was Master Chief Collection, I would always go back and just get on Halo 3 in general and play that. Now Master Chief Collection is out, and now I just go back to that. When nobody's on, you'll see me sometimes just by myself playing Halo Master Chief Collection. That's because I passionately love
And you
Halo.
play that just straight up solo.
I'll play it
Just match
solo.
up with whoever.
And a big reason why is, yeah, the game is awesome for setup for competitive, great, but the competitive playlist, Halo has the best ranking system in video games of all time.
Dude.
It's
not even a contest.
It's not a debate, not a contest. I mean, for
Who do you think who got close to it?
not Call of Duty. Call of Duty has never
The only
been
thing
close.
that COD has done right
League play
was the
and,
league
like,
play.
BO2.
Black Ops 2. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
And even that league play was, you got to
Man,
Master
don't get me
Division,
started.
and it's like, okay, everybody was in Master
Yeah.
Division. If you're good at the
That's
game,
why I played
you're
with
Master.
Parasite. That's how
That's
I
what I'm
played
saying.
with Parasite,
There
man.
was no Call of Duties was so weak. But I think, I want to say CSGO, yeah, CSGO has a good, and League of Legends, they have good ones. In
Mhm.
League of Legends, if you're, I'm going to sound stupid here when I talk about these computer games.
Because we
but,
don't
like,
play it.
It's like Diamond or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. No, you're
For
right.
both.
You're right.
CSGO, it's
There's
global.
bronze and stuff. Yeah.
If you're global in CSGO, you're one of the best in the game. If you're like Diamond or whatever it is in
Yeah.
League of Legends, you're the best at the game. If you're a 50 in Halo, you are one of the best in
Yeah.
the game. And there's never been anything like that for COD. But for me being a console player, Halo's been the only game to deliver that competitive built-in playlist for me, and I've been obsessed with it. If you win, you go up. If you lose, you go
back
down. And it's not 6 versus
You
6.
can't keep your 50 if you
8
keep
versus
playing
8.
and you play bad.
It's a 4 versus 4 or a 2 versus 2. It's very small teams, smaller maps. And it's set up so well.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like you said, COD,
It
the
takes
closest
skill.
one
It takes
was
skill.
the
Black Ops
league
2
play.
and league play.
But now you see that they have a CDL playlist, which is good. They're making a step forward.
Yeah.
They made a step forward, and they still bombed it. I don't know if you noticed. You can use kill streaks, which every COD player bans during tournaments and all that stuff. Like, you cannot use freaking kill streaks in hardpoint. It just takes away the whole game. Like, you can't do a I don't even know what it's called anymore. It used to be a
Cluster Strike or something.
Cluster Strike, Hailstorm, whatever it is. Yeah, you can't call that down into a hard point and literally take one off.
I don't understand how Call of Duty has gotten to the point where this is their first year of franchising, where the developers and the game, they had to be in some sort of agreement with whoever's doing the franchising to get this put out. And the developers are just not on board with the whole franchising competitive scene. There are cities. You have the Chicago Huntsmen, the
Yep.
Los Angeles Optic Game, all these teams, and for competitive gaming on this game. And there's no support behind it from the developers. I just don't understand that. And I truly think, as big of a fan base Halo had, if Call of Duty implemented a simple, just competitive playlist somehow, I was listening to Glacier talk about it the other day.
I think you're right. I think I listened to the same thing.
It was a team deathmatch. He
Yeah.
said 70% of the Call of Duty casual players play team deathmatch. That is, they just click AAA, get in, and they play TDM.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's
If-
easy to set up. They don't
If
know.
you give these guys a ranked little TDM playlist to play, and they start learning that, hey, if I'm good at the game and I win, I can go up and I can achieve
Right.
a goal and I can unlock a really cool skin, or I could get a bling on my gun or something like that. Something to say like, hey, I'm good at the game, and let other people know. If Call of Duty did something like that, I think they would see
I'm sorry.
crazy results.
I'm sorry. Platinum isn't cutting it. Gold Guns ain't cutting it.
That just shows that you have a ton of time to play public matches.
For the people who have Platinum, I'm glad you're grinding the game.
Yeah.
Same thing with Gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some Gold Guns. I don't have Platinum, so whoever has Platinum, congrats. But a shout out to Ginger Billy, though. I will say he did Platinum.
He's been grinding?
Dude, he Platinumed his pistols.
Go ahead,
Dude,
Justin.
and if you're no, that's Chad. That's his brother.
Oh,
No, you're good because Justin says, "Hell no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the time to do it." Chad's like,
It's-
"I'll do it."
And
that's
sad.
fine. That's fine.
It's sad. That's the only.
That's the only thing, though.
That's the only goal built in the game. You can play the game and you're in there playing public matches, but what are you doing when the game ends? Your KD saves to some leaderboard that no one else can really even see. And
then even if you do play some kind of competitive game mode, like hard point, just going into hard point. I'm not talking about CDL playlists. I'm just talking about before they made that. People
you're not
going to
play for the objective.
They're
You're
not
worried about
knowing
your
how to
KD or
rotate. They don't know how to do all that stuff.
Whereas if they had a ranked playlist, when you got to the upper
like
ranks,
I said,
your team, you would be able to search, and your teammates would know who's rotating, who's going to play anchor,
like I said,
who's
though,
going to be rotating early,
League
and
play
like
was
that.
the closest that it ever got to, because League play, you actually had people like that. And Masters, dude, people were actually being like, hey, man,
you could be
I got
in
anchor.
chat.
I got anchor. Use the FAL. You just
Yeah.
start rotating. So, like, I mean, and then also, it would be that's how you blow up the competitive scene. You put that in the like generic pubs. They're like, oh, what's this? I can rank up. Then you start watching all the CDL matches going on in Atlanta, and you start watching. You're like, oh, I want to get better at this. So then you watch it, and dude, that's just how it starts going. That's why people got good at Halo.
The game could explode even more than Call of Duty.
We're trying to tell you guys, figure it out, man. Watch the CDL on the weekends, man. Like,
and this is exactly why, link it all the way back to the beginning, why I choose Halo as Halo 3 specifically as my favorite video game of all time. When I'm tired of I can play GB and go 10-0 whatever and get happy and excited, but there's only so much excitement that you're not.
Well, now and
accomplishing.
anymore, GB isn't as competitive as what it used to be.
Yeah.
Because GB used to have pros in it.
Yeah, and they're all
now they're on salary.
But yeah, the public match, I can only play so many public matches
before you get bored.
Fights before I'm bored.
Or get frustrated because the 725's coming around the corner. Me and Josh talked about that episode. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and I'm glad
I get
there's
bored
at least
of it, and I go back to the game where they cared about competitive gaming 10 plus years ago, and I love it.
Well, let's talk about it before. I'm going to close out on this section. I'm just glad that they're taking a step at least forward.
A baby
on
step.
It was a baby step. They got the CDL playlist.
Baby step.
Please get the rank system guys right. I mean, if they can do that, that would literally make COD.
It'd bring me back,
dude. It would. I'm telling you, you get like a Halo ranked, just kind of like League play, but literally, if you're a master, you should be literally a professional. That's what it should tell you. Not give everyone freaking trophies because of they
won a couple games
or they got their freaking platinum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but shout out to people who got platinum. I'm not I'm not bashing that because that is cool. How you you had to do a lot of challenges to get it. It's cool. I mean, that's fine.
This is why I go back to Fortnite, man. Fortnite has the arena playlist, and
at least you have that.
I'm gonna do a quick shout out, Moneybag Low.
Hey, yo, Logan.
We've been grinding the arenas, man. We love it, cause dude, arena in Fortnite is just like Halo competitive playlist. You're not gonna reach at Champion League unless you're a beast at Fortnite.
So at least they got that right.
They got it right. Fortnite's
Call of
killing
Duty,
it.
pick it up.
Fortnite is just crushing it. I could do a whole podcast about Fortnite.
Well,
Big fan.
I want to talk about this. So you got a new member of your family. Let's talk about your pride and joy in the last 2 months. It's been 2 months?
Very much, yeah, 2 months. The end of December. Just got my first ever puppy.
Heyo.
It's been so long awaited. Paula, my girlfriend, has been loving these long-haired miniature dachshunds for so long. She followed one called Maya the Dox on Instagram, like freshman year of college, and has been obsessed ever since. They're the most adorable little dogs. And I always said, let's both get through school and then we'll get one.
Right.
And here we are. We're both through school. We're settling in. And so we went and got our very own long-haired miniature dachshund. His name is Oakley. He is the cutest little puppy in the entire world. I love that guy to death. It's been honestly a more than I expected. I knew it was going to be a lot taking care of a puppy, It's
Oh,
it's
a
more,
lot.
It's more than I expected. Taking care of got him at 8 weeks old. So I mean, very young puppy, and it's like having a child. I mean, I'm
really
at
is.
work, and if I get home from work, I am playing with this puppy until I go to bed to get all his energy out. And it's
Dude,
just,
he was right before we started this podcast, guys. He's actually over. He's actually he's in the Disco
in the
TV house.
premises.
Yes, and he was just zooming, man. He was just running around everywhere.
He's got that energy, man.
But I will
puppy
say,
energy.
whenever we before you got him, you showed me pictures of. I don't even know if it was a specific one. It might have been.
I showed pictures of him, and then I showed pictures of other ones. I was like, "This is what he's gonna look like."
Right.
Of ones that looked. So
But you
close
didn't.
to him.
No. You didn't know. You're like, I really. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want. Because you had a mindset on the girl dog.
I was dead set on a girl.
I know,
man.
but then also the name. So we had, I guess, 2 conversations about that. At first you were like, yeah, I'm set on the girl dog. Like you already knew. But then now Oakley came, and then finally, whenever you're like, all right, I accepted that I'm gonna have a boy. Then you started asking. You're like, okay, well, there's two names. I know Oakley obviously
Tucker was one.
Tucker. So it was
one.
Oakley or Tucker, and I was like, man, I really like Oakley.
Tucker.
I'm
was
glad you
one.
went with Oakley. I mean, Tucker is a good
That
name too.
Came
I like
out
Tucker.
Of nowhere. We were.
I just like.
We were totally dead set on a girl dog for months, and then we met this awesome breeder. I'm not a big supporter of the breeding thing. Don't come bashing me. We just wanted a specific.
Chill out in the comments.
we wanted a very specific type of dog. So we found, like I said, an awesome breeder who takes great care of these dogs. And yeah, we were dead set on a girl. And we found a mom who was pregnant. The mom and dad were beautiful. We knew the puppies were going to be pretty, and we had to get one. And she had her puppies. There was one girl. We think the breeder kept her. Don't know what happened to the girl, but there was 3 other boys, and 2 dapple boys and a cream boy, and we had to make a decision that day because its face is split right down the middle. It's half brown on one side and half brown and cream on the other side, and we knew if we didn't make the decision, someone else would take him quickly.
We'll go ahead and put a picture up there. You just send me a picture, and we'll
Cool.
put it up
Cool.
up here on the screen. But
and had to make the decision on them, and so that's when I knew. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, we're getting a boy. I literally
Gotta
made
do
that
it.
decision that day that we got the picture.
I remember that day. Literally, you were just like,
I
man, I
said-
got to make a decision. I
Yeah.
said, dude, do it. Just like it's not a big deal. Just
I
get a
committed.
boy. I know you had your mindset on a girl, but I
was
promise
so
you're
dead
not
set.
gonna regret it. Like no one's freaking regretted of getting
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Obviously, there's been times people regret getting dogs because they can't handle it, but you don't have it. You didn't have a dog before that, so
And now, after being years, I was literally years set on a girl. Graduate school, get a girl, long get a dog. And now, I kid you not, I don't think I want a girl after this. I love this little boy so much. If we get another puppy, I'd love another boy. He's awesome. But what was I gonna say? Link, the name. You brought up the name. So we chose him. We committed to him that day. We got the pictures of him, and I was on Tucker forever.
I know.
Man. I was for like weeks. I was like, I think Tucker's gonna be it. We would be scrolling through names online forever, and then one day, like weeks after we already committed to him, had no idea what his name's gonna be. Think it was gonna be Tucker. Paula texted me and said. We had a shared notes, and she added a name on there silently, didn't even say nothing.
and it was Oakley.
And I looked, and it was Oakley. And I called her. I was on my way home from school. I called her. I said, Paula, that's it. That's the name. I hadn't seen that
then
name
there you
before.
go.
I was like, that's him. I love that name.
Well, and
And
you
here
were
we
still
are.
debating though. You're still debating.
After that, I was still tossing around. I was like, we think it's gonna be Oakley.
That's because you had more time to sit
Exactly.
on it.
But right then,
So you
I
knew then.
that was my favorite.
Well, you know what you could
That
do
took away the
is
favorite.
if you did ever get a second dog,
He could be Tucker.
he could be Tucker. That dog could be Tucker. And let's just bring that into the situation. I know you've had Oakley for only 2 months, and you don't need to be thinking about another dog. But if you did get another dog, which you said you would maybe have a second dog, you're ready for it. And this would be basically you're like, I want to. What is it?
Today, if I was getting a dog today, I guess it would be the golden retriever.
Oh, really? That's
We're-
a throw up on me. Like I didn't know that.
We've talked about it. We have the mini long-haired
Wow.
dachshund and that Oakley, love him. And we always said we'd like a little one and a big one. And the big one, we both really want a golden retriever. But now, after having him for 2 months, I would love to get just another one to go with him, man. I would love 2 little weenie dogs running around. I'm trying to get her on board. She's still pretty
On the
set
big
on the
dog.
golden retriever, but
But what was the other one?
we will get another dog.
But you were talking about another.
What
was the other dog? The Doberman. What happened to that?
The Doberman?
He's out. He's gone.
I have pretty much
What happened to Tucker the Doberman?
family member that's got a Doberman. Before I had a dog, that was my favorite dog around. I loved that Doberman. Obsessed with this Doberman. He was the prettiest, just
What
nicest
the hell
Doberman.
happened?
And I wanted a massive dog along with a tiny dog. And I really wanted it. I wanted to get the all brown. This was really what I wanted to do. I was going for an all brown dachshund. And if we got the all brown dachshund, then we were going to get an all brown Doberman. Or if we got an all black dachshund, we'd get an all black Doberman. And have a tiny little one and a massive one. And they'd look like twins, whatever.
Yeah.
But now we have a dapple little cream brown.
Yeah. He looks like a cow.
He looks like a brown cow.
Yeah.
He's got chocolate milk.
His chocolate milk.
And so there's no he's not gonna be a twin with a Doberman. And so for that reason, and we've leaned more towards a golden retriever. It's just
what it is.
But the Doberman was
Golden retrievers are awesome though, man. Because
Yeah.
I've had
that was Shorty, right?
no he see
Or he was a lab.
He was a lab. I had labs growing up. I mean, now I've had a couple dogs before him, and I don't even remember what they were, but I was way too young. And but my literally first dog was a lab, and then I got his brother, or it was either his brother or his son after that, and that was Shorty. So I had Spencer and then Shorty, and both of them literally looked the same. So it's so weird because for my birthday,
like you had the same dog forever.
yeah, because for my birthday, so Spencer died tragically. It was because of some fireworks. He jumped over the fence. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but anyway, so then for my birthday one day I came home from school, and there's literally a freaking golden lab in my backyard. I'm like I was young enough to where I knew obviously he didn't rose from the dead.
Yeah.
But he looked the same. I said, "What the hell? What? That's the same dog I just had." So it threw me off. It really screwed me up as a child. Nah, but I literally said they're like, "No, it's not. It's his brother," which made it even better because I was like, dude, I love this
Family
first
member.
dog.
Yeah.
Now it's his brother or his
That's
son or
perfect.
one of he didn't know. I forgot what it was.
You have that instant attachment.
But yeah, so then I was like, oh
Family
man,
member.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then I loved him, and then finally he passed away, and then right about a year after is when we got Rocky. We got this house, and I will say this, I don't know if anyone knows this, but me and Kim slept in this house one night together alone, and then the next day we got Rocky.
Dang.
And so he's literally been a part of this house for
Day one.
for day 2.
Yeah.
but yes, isn't that
That's
crazy?
That is
So
crazy.
so he's been here the whole time. He doesn't know
knows his house
anything.
just as well as you do.
Yeah, exactly. He's been here as long as us.
Yeah.
And then finally we got Zoe. She's still trying to learn. So like you said, dude, it's tough.
You really got him the second day you were
Second
in
day.
here?
And
Dude,
you remember I was trying
no
to get.
way I could do that.
I was trying to
I would be
get.
so flustered and overwhelmed with the home.
I was trying to get another dog, a brown lab, like
Yeah, I
you were
remember
talking
that,
about.
yeah.
You were setting on a boy. I was setting on a brown lab. I thought
Set on a girl.
For me, yeah, well, yeah, or a
yeah.
girl. My bad. But for me, it was just I wanted this one
very
dog.
specific
I've been
type of dog.
specific
Yeah.
type, and we talked to this lady for a while, back and forth, and finally, I guess something fell through. I just asked her. I was like, "Can you hold on to her until we get a house, and then we can bring her in,
Yeah.
or bring him in?" I don't remember if it was a boy or girl, and finally, she didn't respond to me anymore. And so finally, the day after the first day, I said, "Let's go look at and see if we can find a dog." So we went to the I guess it wasn't a shelter. I guess they brought them in. It was in Huntersville. I forgot what place
It's like
it
an
was.
event.
Yeah. And so then we looked,
Like an
and
adoption.
we wanted. We actually went there for a lab, and I was like, yeah, lab, and then the lab came out, was so energetic, and like was like, I knew Kim, because Kim's real short, and like she couldn't handle it. She was jumping everywhere and everything, so she's really excited. So then when Rocky came out, well, Rocky, believe it or not, his name was Lilo.
Mm.
Lilo, like I was like, man, Lilo and Stitch. Lilo's the girl. Like, what do you like? What do you mean? And they're like, no, his name's Lilo. And I'm like, but it's a boy. And they're like, yeah, it's a boy named Lilo. I'm like, that ain't happening. And I was like, when we get home, we're changing your name. So, the way his face is, he's like the Rocky Road ice cream is what we kind of like got off of that. And then for Zoe, I don't know, Zoe just kind of connected for
Your
her.
pets, man. It's
It's a family member, bro. That's why I said name your family member.
They are, no matter how you end up getting them. I mean, when you find the dog or you retrieve the dog, cat, whatever it is, pet for you, you love that dog, pet, regardless.
Yeah.
So we have someone right now that, well, I'm not even gonna go there.
Well,
I
you don't want to get in trouble.
I like before we got our dog, I was zoned wanting a specific type of dog. Like I wanted a female.
Like you said, you wanted a girl.
Yeah, female.
But now you got Oakley,
brown,
and now you couldn't imagine another dog.
I wouldn't want.
I know.
Exactly.
Dude,
it's unreal.
It's how it is, dude. Like, and that's the thing is like, you can't plan everything. Because if you do, then like you said, you would have passed up on Oakley. And imagine that, like you wouldn't have had Oakley. So, I mean, it's crazy just thinking of.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine my life without my puppy. Man.
So now it's 2 months, and dude's crazy, man.
He is. He's crazy, handful, but I love him to death. He's awesome. Yeah. I think that's about a wrap, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know how long this has been.
Close to an hour, for
Wow.
sure. Yeah, 56 minutes.
Wow.
57 minutes.
Hey, that's a good first one. Right
Hey,
there.
man, I
First
appreciate
time
you.
ever
Hey,
done that.
and this is the one take. And I told him, I said, we don't do 2 takes around here. I said, I promise you, we'll be fine. I was like, we're going to be good. So,
before I end it, I
yeah.
gotta cut him off before he ends it. I gotta give a shout out. It's so dark in this room. I know y'all can't see. It's 100 Thieves for me, baby.
I can put it in the camera.
100 Thieves.
Shout out, Nate Shot.
Nate Shot. Can't believe I didn't talk about him for this hour. That's
I know.
one of my biggest.
It's okay. We'll have you back.
Yeah. Nate Shot, Hex, Hector, those guys, Optic Gaming. Biggest fan of esports. I should have brought them up when he said my favorite sports team.
We'll talk about it because, like I said,
That's a
I'm
whole
going to
nother
have you back
podcast.
because, like I said, these people who are first coming on the podcast first, they're going to be back. So like I said, we haven't even scratched the surface of
Get me in at
this.
esports talk.
Yeah,
with the
that's it. That's not,
Huntsman.
dude. That's what happened. That's what happened.
The Huntsman Optic Gaming
we
rivalry.
went on a rant. So I mean, that's what happens in the podcast, though. But let everyone know where they can find you.
Gamer tags, YBobby.
There you go. Hit them up.
Honestly, you ain't even got to follow me anywhere. Who you want to follow is Oakley The Dox.
There you go.
I got this guy 2 months ago. He's beautiful. He already has 1,000. He just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram today. You should,
Really?
You should check. Yeah, you
That's
should
awesome.
check him out on Instagram. It's at Oakley The Dox with underscores in between. So Oakley The Dox.
Well, guys, I'll put him down in the description, all of the links that he wants. So go ahead, click, follow Oakley, look at him. And you know what? I might not even show his picture on the podcast because I want them to go to his Instagram. So
I'm
yeah,
telling you, you see this dog, you're gonna be.
I don't know. I might show a little quick picture because he's cute. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's YBobby there, and like I said, we'll have him back, and that's it for a Gamers Mag podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.